Good morning and welcome to the driveway. I've got the Aprilia RSV Tuono out, and I'm here to solve a couple of very specific issues. One of them is, this is a sport touring bike, but it's not incredibly touring oriented. Eventually I'd like to get some luggage, the ability to carry things. I'd like to take this thing on road trips, but something that you want on road trips is maps. I also have another problem to solve, which is that Siri is uniquely terrible to use on a motorcycle. Sure, I've got speakers and a microphone in my helmet, but when I tell it to open or close my garage door, it just says, hey, I need to see your face first, or enter your PIN, which obviously I can't do. My phone is in my pocket because I'm on my motorcycle. So it's a bad experience all around. Fortunately, Carpuride makes something to help with that. Well, actually, they originally made these for cars, and I saw their Facebook ads everywhere and thought, that would be neat for Amber's Escape. Also, it'd be kind of cool to put on a bike. And then they came out with a bike version, which is this. This is just like a tablet that runs Apple CarPlay. It just sits there doing Apple CarPlay things. Like a TomTom or a Garmin, it's a standalone device, except that the GPS itself is running on your phone. Because you can't really mount a phone to a motorcycle. The image stabilization is too fragile and you'll break your focus and whatnot. Tons and tons of iPhone cameras and other phone cameras aside getting ruined by being mounted to the vibrating handlebars of a motorcycle. So this way, your phone can stay comfortably in your pocket and you can still have your maps. So let's put it on. I suppose I should see what all's in the box here first before I go taking my bike apart. There's the unit itself. Looks about how you'd expect. Has a little sunshade. Yep. Little tablet device. It looks like an old school standalone GPS unit, and it has some wiring attached. It's all pretty standard. Looks like we've just got a positive and negative. So this will just get constant 12 volt all the time. Doesn't look like there's anything switchable. I believe you're responsible for turning it on and off yourself, which is fine by me, because finding switched power on a motorcycle can be difficult. And we have a waterproof disconnect here in case you want to take it off your bike. If, for example, you're parking in a sketchy part of town. Not sure why you'd ever do something like that. Looking real quick at what else. Wow, that actually, it feels kind of nice. It's got some gravity in it. It definitely doesn't feel cheap. Open card. So, can you put an SD card in here? Power button. Nothing on the other side, nothing on the bottom, nothing on the top. A basic ball mount handlebar adapter. Oh, that's pretty stout, actually. Yeah. I expected this to not be quite that good a quality, but no, that's quite nice, actually. Oh, and it comes with a little wrench. Adorable. And operating instructions. IP67 rated, CarPlay, Android Auto, 5-inch touchscreen, all the good stuff. What's interesting is it hasn't actually told me what this model is, but I believe this is the SD card. Requires the use of a tool to open and insert, so I'm guessing you can put some music on there and it'll play music. This is pretty similar to, your CarPlay head units in your car and stuff. It does have an interface outside of CarPlay. Looks like I'll need to pair my helmet to the device and then pair the device to my phone instead of my phone directly to my helmet. Makes sense, since that's where my phone's going to be sending the music. And everything here looks pretty straightforward. Pretty good manual overall. Colors, nice. Good English. There's nothing to laugh at here or anything. It's all pretty good. I still don't know what the model number is of this particular one. I think this is like W502 or something like that. It seems like literally the only place they actually reference the model number is on their website. Let's go get the bracket installed on the bike, and then I'm going to go dig around in all of my buckets of connectors and see what I've got for attaching these thin little wires to my battery. Yeah, I think just right off here. Some nylock nuts. Okay. Okay. Kind of hard to see anything through my hand, but believe me, there's very interesting stuff happening here. You don't want to miss any of this. And since ball mounts are fairly standardized, you can always bring your own. I mean, there are ball mount adapters that screw into your bar risers and whatnot. A buddy of mine has that. He actually bought one of these for his BMW. When you have Android Auto, when it detects that you are close to your house, it automatically pops up open a button to open your garage door. And that is a wonderful feature, as well as just, you know, maps, being able to see the road ahead beyond your actual vision, and also reroute in case there's traffic. Because sitting in traffic in a motorcycle, it's a special kind of awful. Especially if it's hot out. Especially if it's hot out and there's no wind and you're stuck not being able to move. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't block any of the gauges from view. Maybe a little bit lower. Oop. Maybe a little bit tighter. I don't hate that. That is within line of sight pretty easily and not blocking any of the gauges. So now it is a question of running the wires, of which there is a reasonable amount. Please don't call the crimp police on me for this. I couldn't find my actual crimpers. Alrighty. And then I've got these. Let's just route that under there. Okay, you two. There we go. And then this can hide there. And that's a reasonably tidy install, I think. I was going to use ring terminals, but I didn't have any that would fit these screws, so spades it is. Ace of spades. Whatever. Okay, let's get this thing powered on. Here we go. Looks like pushing and holding the button turns it all the way off. There's also a display off button here. Not ready. Oh, it's still booting up. Oops. Here we go. Display off. Oh, yep, and then it turns back on when I do that. Interesting. That is how we pair it to Bluetooth. So, I'm going to do so. Okay, did the pairing thing. You use CarPlay? Yes. And we got music, we got calling, and then I think it is going to negotiate. Yep, there we go. It's got CarPlay. Hey, look at that. Wow. That was extraordinarily easy. And then since it's CarPlay, it's just as responsive as you like because it's running on my phone. And then I've got my garage door control right there. So if I hit that, yep, sure enough. Bye-bye battery charger. Okay, actually we're gonna closed, and we're gonna open that up again. Nice. Well, pairing's pretty simple. To connect to your helmet, you go to Bluetooth transmitter, and then you search and connect to the Bluetooth device from there. And then let's see, yep, we got our volume, so I think that's all there is to it. Ooh, we got an equalizer? Wow. That is comprehensive, actually. I just noticed it synced the time. I don't appear to have any way to change it from 12-hour to 24-hour, but that's not a huge deal. So let's go back to CarPlay and make sure that audio is working for me. Yep, sure enough, that is playing in my helmet. Unfortunately, it appears the next button on my helmet no longer works. None of the buttons seem to be. Alright, I had a bit of confusion with my pack talk because I got it set into the wrong mode, which was entirely a me thing. But now we're good. We're listening to music. We're jamming. Though, quick thing to note, if the volume seems a little low, go to the volume button here and turn it all the way up. I manage my volume using my pack talk, so I want that all the way up so that I can actually hear. I'm going to use this for a couple days, and it'll come back and tell y'all what I think about it. Don't I look snazzy in my new helmet? It's modular.
So I've been using this thing for quite a while over the last few weeks of riding, and I've had some time to have a few thoughts on it. But before we talk about those, I want to point something out. I've got my phone in my pocket, and there it is. I just want to show you guys the range on this thing. Because when I said a friend of mine has one of these, he doesn't. He actually got a cheaper version, or a knockoff, and his barely stays connected with a phone on his pocket on his bike. Meanwhile, we're still connected. We're still connected. I'm tripping over stuff in my yard, but we're still connected. It's still connected. Still connected. Still connected. I've run out of room to walk, and it is still playing my music. That's pretty impressive.
However, I was a lot less impressed with this thing until I figured out a workaround for a problem I was having. Earlier I said that you pair your phone to the device and then the device to your headset using its Bluetooth transmitter mode. Now that is what the instructions tell you to do. However, there is one critical feature that this thing is missing that makes that not viable. The Carpuride does not support control buttons. Next and play pause, specifically on my Cardo. So if I want to hit next song, I have to use the touchscreen, or I have to buy a third-party control that I can put on my handlebars, which is fine for some people, but I wanted to be able to use the buttons on my Cardo because it's very easy for me to lift up, push the button, and away we go. I actually emailed Carpuride about this, and they said, no, we don't support that, and didn't say anything about any plans to support that in the future, and yeah, that alone was about to have me giving this a do not recommend because A, real dangerous to take your eyes off the road to skip songs or whatever. It interfered with Siri usage sometimes, and it's just kind of unacceptable. But what I discovered is if you pair your phone to the Carpuride and you pair your phone to your headset, once it gets CarPlay running and then you switch your audio stream from Carpuride to your headset, which I've named 100% Jake, you can see on this screen recording, then it works perfectly. The buttons work, Siri works, the audio quality is actually better, it's a lot louder. The audio running through the Carpuride is so quiet that I can barely hear it on the highway, but when it's directly connected, it works fine. So there are some caveats with this, but you can work around them. I'm sure it probably works better with Android just because Android is a lot more flexible with this sort of thing. You can kind of tweak things a little easier. But for iPhone, those are the workarounds I had to do. Other than that, the visibility in the daytime continues to be great. The connection with my phone is absolutely rock solid. And the audio quality, now that I'm connecting directly to my helmet, is absolutely fantastic. So despite that little bump in the road, I'm still a huge fan of this thing. If you want one, check out the link in the description of the pinned comment. It's an affiliate link, so I'll get a referral bonus if you buy one. If not, whatever. They also have options for cars. Like I said, when Carpride first contacted me was back when my girlfriend had her 2003 Ford Escape, and I was really excited to use this to put CarPlay in an old car like that. But now everything I own just has CarPlay, so bike. And as always, thanks for watching.